Hello, welcome back to Hazel Jane Tarot. And today, as you can see, we have an unboxing. Now, I have been holding off on opening this. It arrived yesterday until I got a little bit of time to have a look at it together with you. So, as you maybe can tell, this is my Spirit Keepers Tarot Revelation Edition that has arrived all the way from America yesterday. The postman left the box out on the doorstep in the pouring rain, and the box was soaking wet, so thankfully it was well wrapped inside, or I would have been very upset with the postman. So here we have the package. So it comes with a certificate of authenticity. So I have 1558 of 3,507, such a random number of decks, for the first print run of the Revelation edition. So I can tell from that Benebell is planning to produce this edition in a slightly different way than the others. So the first edition was a very limited print run, I think of 1,000, and then the second Vitruvian edition had a bigger print run but a more limited number based on how many orders that they'd received. And then this one, it looks like, is going to be reprinted, which is nice because you know, that it's a popular deck, and it's nice that she's going to be making it available a bit more. So it's signed. Oh, it's so nice to have that. And then this is the back, and I don't know if that's the same as the back for the cards. We'll see in a minute. But oh, the colours are showing up a bit paler on camera than they are to the naked eye. To the naked eye, those colours are, yeah, you can see the richness a bit better there close up. It's so detailed. If you've been following this online, you'll be familiar with the art. So here we have a little art card of, looks like Thoth and Isis maybe. And on the back of the box, we have this extract from the Book of the Dead. The box for the Spirit Keepers Tarot, it's like a jewel box, isn't it? And then we have, oh, stuck to the front. It's like a magnet. Some essential oils, blessing oil maybe, that was sticking it to the box. Oh. And now we have the Spirit Keepers Tarot Revelation Edition. Looks a lot like the box for the Vitruvian edition, but obviously this is coloured and the other was black and white. So here we go, we get the plastic off. So Benebell, I mean, if you've not had any of Benebell Wen's decks before, if this is the first time you've ordered the Spirit Keepers Tarot, like the quality that and the attention to detail is second to none. And because I've got the other decks, I have a high expectation. But if you've never had one of her decks before, I mean, they really are a work of art. So look, the detail on the box. And there's thought has gone into all of this, like, there'll be a reason why those are that colour. Beautiful. And there's a lovely matte finish on the box. You can see the pentacle or the orb, the sword, cup and wand around the edges. And that's like the Ark of the Covenant, is it, in the middle? Okay, let's see. So beautiful and ornate. Every detail of the box is just, you know, full with magical intention and sigils and images. And Spirit Keepers Tarot, little white book, Revelation Edition. Oh wow, the cards. So it really, even just at first glance, it is different from the other decks, and I'm so excited to get this in my hands at last. So what does it say here? So we've got these magic squares around the sides, which I'm sure that is explained in the book of maps as to what's going on there. Tell me what it is you seek. I will show you the way. Lay your fears by my feet. I will dispel them. Name what afflicts you. I can heal it. Whatsoever you need, I shall provide. Here is your refuge. Here you will find sanctuary. Oh my goodness. It really is a very ornate and detailed presentation. So we take off this little sleeve. Oh, I'm really afraid to touch it in case I damage them. Beautiful gilding. You can see it's just flawless. And then so the back design is different from that little signature card. So we can have a wee look at the cards now. I'm just going to pause for 1 second to close the window because that door has started banging. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards. So in the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, you have three significator, or kind of the Fool cards. So we have the Initiate and the Seeker and then the Keeper. So one of the first things that really strikes me, having had previous editions of the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, is that these, this is the first time I've tried to film since nap time ended in my household, and my little girl is still around and coming and interrupting every now and then. So anyway, the cards have been substantially redesigned. Not that you'll care about that if this is your first version of the deck, but wow, the detail and the colour. One of the things I noticed during the creation process was just how detailed the textures were. I mean, and some people might find it a bit too much. In fact, like how much every surface is just covered in detail. But in the guidebook, it explains the different uses for these different significator cards or Fool cards, and so it depends on whether you're looking for to connect with the deck, whether you're looking for answers to questions, or whether you're trying to communicate with spirits. Depends which one that you're going to use. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm really excited to see these major arcana and see how different they are from the original. I'll maybe make a separate video. If anybody's interested in seeing a side-by-side comparison between the three editions, please do let me know. Right, wow, I love that. The original had just the snakes, the two connected snakes. So this has got a lot going on in it. The priestess, gorgeous. The empress. So we've zoomed out quite a lot. I think previously it was just focused on her face. The cards they're so matte. They are just like the most matte. There's like an ASMR delightfulness to the way these the cardstock of these decks are. The Hierophant. This is interesting. The original Hierophant I had quite a strong reaction to. I have I'll try to link below. I have a video where I looked at the when I got my first edition. The first copy of the deck that I had was the Vitruvian edition, because I'd missed out on getting the first edition initially. And then when I got a copy of the first edition, I did a video looking at the first edition alongside the Vitruvian and the hand-coloured majors that I had printed. So that's something that I'll link below and you can have a wee look at if you want. Force instead of the strength card. So as you can see, each of the major arcana have a title. And that goes all the way through the whole of the minors as well. So the erudite, rather than, it's the hermit of mysteries, you can tell that this is the hermit. But they have like this spirit that's within the card has a slightly different name in this version of the deck. So the Wheel of Life. Justice. Justice is very tied up in this clothing. It's interesting. The Chancellor. The Outlaw. The Reaper. The Angel. Oh, interesting. And I don't know about this redesign of the angel with this face. I'll have to read up a bit about this, the symbolism. There's just so much going on. The hands and the cups. The devil redesign, the demon. Really interesting. And then I wonder, are these still connected? So the tower, yeah, it looks like it. That these sort of formed a frieze. The tower is very similar actually to the original. Oh, this is beautiful. The healer. The colours are kind of, it's interesting. They're kind of delicate and yet really intense, like the way the colours applied. The necromancer. It's really interesting. The warrior, that's kind of similar. Apocalypse. And New World Order. Okay, so that's the majors. And let's have a look at the minors. So the aces, the hallowed flame. Oh, look at that. Holy Grail is beautiful. Ace of Cups. Or chalices in this deck. Sacred Word. The Ace of Swords. And the Bread of Life. The Ace of Orbs. So this is quite an intense deck to work with. There's a lot of symbolism, and I know some people have found it intimidating. The joined one, beautiful. The Blind Seer, Two of Swords. Oh, and this is quite different. The Tension, the Two of Orbs. So then we have the threes, the Politic, Three of Cups, the Kindred, Three of Swords. That's again quite different. I like how the heart is like an anatomical heart instead of like a silly, like a cartoony heart. This is gorgeous. The Mason, the Three of Orbs. Oh dear, I've sent my little girl into the next room with the bubble wrap to see if that'll keep her occupied for a few minutes so I can finish this video. Oh, okay, so now the court cards are really different in this deck. So we have the Archangels, and these have been completely redesigned by the looks of it. So the Archangels are the kings as far as I remember. They're beautiful. The Archangel, you can see which one it is from the symbolism. Whereas the title, Archangel Commander, Archangel of Mysteries, wouldn't tell you on its own, but you can see from the image. And then the shields are the queens. So we have the lovely, from different cultures shown in this deck. I think she talks in her video series, I've only watched one of the videos so far, about the cradles of civilization that she was inspired by. So that's going to be really interesting to read more about in the guidebook. Oh, they're beautiful. And then the shining ones are the knights. So we've had a few different versions of the knights. They've been totally redesigned as well. So the shining waters, the shining flame, the shining gale, and the shining quarry. And then the heralds. And there's a very strong element of a message being received, which you can see here in the pages in this deck. So the herald of the flame and of the waters. Beautiful, of the winds and of the earth. Gorgeous. Oh, I can't wait to read up on this properly. I've had the book of maps for a while, but I haven't looked at it because I've been waiting to have the deck in my hands, you know, for it to properly make sense to me. And then let's see, so we've got the kind of, I think she calls these like the lower realms of the minor arcana, from the 4s to the 10s. So the Demiurge, the Hollow Void. Yeah, a lot of this imagery is very recognizable from the other versions of this deck, but some of it has been totally, like every image has been totally redrawn, and even images where there's familiar elements like this character, the whole background is totally redone. The Conservator, the Contender, so it's into the 5s. So there seems to be mythological characters and stories being shown in the backgrounds of some of these. The Vagabond. Oh, it's kind of haunting. And then the 6s. The Champion. Oh, I love that noise. The Memory Keeper. So cute. That's like the creatures from the Lover's card and the Devil card are there as in kind of baby form. The Quester, so that's from the sticker I think that was in the box. And then the Giver. And then into the 7s, the Dark Horse, the Corruptor, the Rogue. Wow, like, there's so much going on there. And the Gardener. Then we have the 8s, the Sharpshooter, the Defector, the Captor, and the Journeyman. The 9s, then the Pugilist. Wow. The Wish Granted. Oh, the Haunt. So like this character is in the previous versions, but then this character is new, and the background is all extra. With this whole deck, everything is a bit extra. Like there's just so much detail and texture. The 9 of Orbs, and then into the 10s. Wow. Wow. The 10 of Chalices. The 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Orbs. Just reading and looking through one of those card images could take up an afternoon, couldn't it? Like they're so beautifully detailed. So the Book of Maps is the guidebook, which I have already got printed from Lulu. So it's a good system that Benabel uses. It's print on demand, or you can just use the ebook version, but I do like to have a physical copy of the guidebook. And then it's, wow, how many pages is this? It's 715 pages. And it is this time a full colour guidebook, so it was a little bit more expensive to print, but only, you know, not a huge amount. I think it was £25 or something like that to get it printed. So this is something to work through, and it includes, you know, huge amounts of detail on our creative process and who are the characters and the cultures. And I remember the other books of maps being a little bit tricky to navigate because there was just so much information in them, and but it's going to be interesting to read and work through and study anyway, just to get like, I mean, it's like a a jewel box, the book on its own, you know. So that's the guidebook that goes with this deck. So let's see, let's put it